On one of Delhi's busiest highways, an entire lane has been taken over by hundreds of sacred cows. Cars and trucks crawl past in the remaining lanes, but no one dares to disturb the animals. These aren't just any strays, they're sacred cows, and in India they have more rights than many humans. This isn't a rare occurrence. Across India's bustling cities and rural villages, 5.2 million stray cows roam freely, wandering through markets, blocking traffic, and making themselves at home wherever they please. In some cities, they've even learned to understand traffic signals, crossing streets when the lights turn red. Between 2019 and 2021, these wandering sacred animals caused over 1,300 traffic accidents. But here's what makes this situation truly bizarre. While India launches rockets into space and builds some of the world's most advanced tech hubs, it's also dealing with a problem that seems like it's from another century. The problem started with good intentions. For centuries, cows in India were valued members of households, providing milk, helping plow fields, and serving as an important part of the family economy. But modern dairy farming changed everything. Once cows stop producing milk, or if male calves are born, they become an economic burden. In most countries, these animals would be sent to slaughterhouses. But in India, killing cows is illegal in most states. The penalty? You could face up to 10 years in prison. Farmers can't afford to feed unproductive animals, but they also can't sell them for slaughter. So they do the only thing they can. They abandon them. The numbers are staggering. Every year, millions of male calves and aging cows are simply let loose on the streets. Once released, they join the massive population of urban cows that have learned to survive in India's cities. They raid vegetable markets, knock over garbage bins, and create their own social hierarchies on the streets. These street-smart cows have even developed surprising behaviors. Some have learned to recognize the delivery trucks that supply restaurants and will follow them to get first access to discarded food. Others have figured out which neighborhoods leave out offerings for them and follow regular daily routes like buses on a schedule. These street cows have become surprisingly adapted to city life. In the capital city of Delhi, they've learned to sleep in the shade of metro stations during the scorching summer days. During rush hour, they move to the middle of wide roads, knowing that slow-moving traffic won't hit them. Some have even figured out how to use pedestrian crossings. But it's their impact on daily life that's truly mind-boggling. Farmers lose millions of dollars of crops each year to wandering cows that raid their fields. Insurance companies have had to create special cow collision policies. Some cities have even installed special reflective collars on the cows to prevent nighttime accidents. The situation gets even more complicated during election season. Politicians promise to build more cow shelters, knowing that protecting these sacred animals can win them votes. Some states have even introduced special cow welfare taxes. In one city, they put taxes on wedding halls to fund cow shelters. But perhaps the most bizarre development is the rise of cow vigilantes, groups that patrol the streets looking for anyone they suspect of harming cows. These self-appointed protectors have sometimes caused more problems than the cows themselves, leading to social tensions and even violence. The government's attempts to solve this problem have led to some bizarre situations. They've created cow hostels, massive shelters that can house thousands of abandoned cows. But these shelters quickly become overcrowded, and some cows actually escape and return to their street lives, preferring urban freedom to confined comfort. In some cities, they've tried using special microchips to track the cows and identify who abandoned them. But this led to an unexpected problem. People started abandoning their cows in different cities to avoid being caught. Some cows have been found hundreds of miles from their original homes, creating a kind of underground railroad of abandoned sacred cows. Local authorities have even tried using special cattle catchers, modified trucks with hydraulic lifts and padded chambers. But the cows quickly learned to recognize these vehicles and would scatter at the sight of them. In one city, the cows figured out the cattle catchers' regular routes and simply avoided those streets during capture hours. The situation has created some truly absurd moments. One tech company had to delay opening their new office because a group of cows decided the building's air-conditioned lobby was the perfect place to rest. The cows refused to leave, and no one could legally force them out. The situation has created some unique jobs that probably don't exist anywhere else in the world. Cities now employ professional cow catchers who work like urban cowboys, trying to wrangle stubborn sacred animals off busy streets. But catching a cow is one thing. Finding somewhere to put it is another problem entirely. The cow shelters, called goshalas, have become their own strange micro-societies. Some have turned into tourist attractions where visitors can adopt a cow without having to take it home. Others have become entrepreneurial, selling everything from cow dung cakes to cow urine, which some believe has medicinal properties. But these shelters can't keep up with the growing number of abandoned cows. Some cities have tried innovative solutions, like converting abandoned buildings into temporary cow hostels. One city even tried using old shipping containers as mobile cow shelters, but the cows simply refused to enter them. The most surprising development has been how the cows have adapted their behavior. In areas where cattle catchers are active, the cows have learned to split into smaller groups and use back alleys to move around. They've essentially created their own underground network of cow-friendly routes through the cities. The sacred cow problem has led to some truly bizarre situations in daily life. Construction sites have started installing cow-proof barriers not mentioned in any building code. Software companies have had to create special cow alerts in their navigation apps to warn drivers about herds blocking major roads. Some cows have become local celebrities. In one neighborhood, a particularly clever cow became famous for waiting outside a specific ice cream shop every day at closing time. The owner would give her leftover ice cream, and she never missed a day for 3 years. Soon, tourists were showing up just to take selfies with the ice cream cow. Schools have had to adapt too. Some now employ cow monitors, staff members whose job it is to keep cows away from playgrounds during recess. Children are taught cow safety alongside their regular lessons, learning how to safely navigate around these massive animals that might be blocking their way to school. The situation gets even more complicated during festivals. When cities are decorated with flowers and food offerings, the cows treat it like an all-you-can-eat buffet. City planners now have to consider cow-proof designs for any public decorations, creating the bizarre sight of festival displays with barricades protecting them from sacred animals. Some entrepreneurs have started seeing the cow problem as a business opportunity. One company created cow bumpers, special modifications for cars that can withstand impact with a cow without harming the sacred animal. Another invented glow-in-the-dark cow collars, which quickly became popular with both authorities and residents. But the most creative solutions have come from farmers trying to protect their crops. They've discovered that cows hate the smell of lemongrass, so they've started planting it around their fields. Others use recordings of tiger growls played through speakers to keep the cows away, until the cows figured out it was just a recording. One city tried using drones to herd cows away from busy areas, but this backfired spectacularly. The cows quickly learned that the drones couldn't actually touch them, and some even started charging at them. The sight of sacred cows chasing high-tech drones through city streets became a viral sensation. Restaurant owners have had their own struggles. Some have started hiring cow guards whose only job is to keep cows from walking into their establishments. Others have built special barriers that humans can easily step over, but cows can't figure out, creating the strange sight of diners hopping over gates just to get their dinner. The sacred cow situation has created some unique challenges for India's modernization efforts. Smart cities have to be designed with cow-proof infrastructure. Self-driving car companies testing in India had to completely reprogram their artificial intelligence to account for cows that follow different rules than any other traffic obstacle. Tech companies face their own bizarre challenges. One major corporation built a beautiful new campus only to discover that a group of cows had claimed the parking lot as their territory. They couldn't remove them, so they had to redesign their entire parking system around the areas the cows preferred to rest. Shopping malls have become inadvertent cow sanctuaries during extreme weather. During heat waves, cows learn that mall entrances blow out cool air, leading to the surreal sight of sacred cows lounging in front of luxury stores. Some malls even started keeping water troughs nearby, hoping this would stop the cows from trying to get inside. Even India's famous railways have had to deal with this unique problem. Train drivers undergo special cow awareness training and some routes include time in their schedules for cow-related delays. One train station became famous when a cow figured out that she could use the footbridge to cross the tracks, leading to the bizarre sight of a cow calmly using the overhead crossing. International companies setting up business in India have had to adapt to the sacred cow situation in surprising ways. One major car manufacturer had to create a special India testing ground where they could test their vehicle's ability to deal with cow encounters. Another company had to redesign their delivery robots after discovering that cows would deliberately stand in their way. Foreign executives visiting India often find themselves in bizarre situations. One CEO's important business meeting was delayed because a cow was blocking the office entrance and security refused to move it. Another company's promotional event was interrupted when a group of cows wandered onto the stage, leading to what became known as the Sacred Cow Keynote. Insurance companies have had to create entirely new policies for international businesses. Cow interruption insurance is now a real thing, covering everything from cows damaging property to business delays caused by bovine visitors. Some companies even include cow clauses in their contracts, acknowledging that sacred cows might affect project timelines. But perhaps the most surprising impact has been on international food chains. Global restaurants opening in India have had to design special barriers and security systems that keep cows out while still appearing welcoming to customers. One famous coffee chain even created a cow-proof outdoor seating area, only to find that the cows figured out how to navigate it within a week. Modern technology is now being enlisted to help manage the sacred cow crisis. One city is testing facial recognition software to identify individual cows, hoping to track their movements and behaviors. Another is developing an AI-powered cow traffic prediction system to warn drivers about likely cow gatherings. Some tech startups have proposed using GPS collars to create a real-time cow map of the city, but this led to an unexpected problem. Food delivery apps started using the data to plan routes around cow clusters, inadvertently creating new traffic patterns that the cows quickly learned to exploit. Urban planners designing future Indian cities now have to consider what they call cow-friendly infrastructure. This includes special corridors for cow movement, designated resting areas, and even cow crossings, special paths that guide cows away from major roads. One architect described it as designing cities for two species at once. The most ambitious proposal yet comes from a team suggesting smart cow zones, designated city areas with automated feeding stations and climate-controlled shelters. The idea is to give the cows comfortable spaces to gather, away from traffic and businesses. But early tests showed that the cows still preferred to roam freely, using these zones more like rest stops than permanent homes. Today, India faces a unique challenge: how to balance ancient religious traditions with modern urban life. As the country continues to develop at breakneck speed, the sacred cow problem isn't going away. It's evolving. Those 5.2 million street cows are adapting to every solution humans devise, proving themselves as resilient as the culture that protects them. The situation has become a symbol of modern India itself, a place where ancient traditions and cutting-edge technology exist side by side. While tech companies develop AI to predict cow movements and architects design cow-proof buildings, the sacred cows continue their daily routines, wandering through the streets of one of the world's fastest-growing economies. Perhaps the most remarkable thing about India's sacred cow situation isn't the problem itself, it's how millions of people have learned to adapt their daily lives around these untouchable animals. It's a reminder that sometimes the most unusual problems require us to change not the obstacle, but how we think about it. We'll see you later.